Welcome everyone. So what I want to do in this short video is do in chapter 2 of the book number 3. So this is a sales tax program where you're going to write a program that will compute the total sales tax on the $95 purchase. Assume the state sales tax is 4% and the county sales tax is 2%. So what we want to do is a couple of things that we haven't done before. So one of the things is we're going to use IO-manip. And what IO-manip will allow you to do is format the code so when it prints out, you're going to display it to as many decimal places as you want. Since we're talking about dollars and cents, we're going to want to use just 2. Then we have a 4% and a 2%. So this is a perfect way of introducing constants. Since the 4% is not going to change and the 2% is not going to change, we're going to create a couple constants. And so to create a constant, we're going to put in the word cont first and the type. Because it's 4%, we need to make it double. And we have two options. We can make it, we'll start off with actually the state sales tax. And let's do state sales tax, which is more complete name. And we can do 0.04, and that would be just fine. And remember, you would comment, I'm not going to do it for time's sake, and you would put the purpose of this is, but you may not feel comfortable with doing it that way. So this is completely acceptable. Let me comment that out. And this is acceptable for constants and sales tax when you're using percents. So I'm going to put in parentheses 4 because that's what it is, but I'm going to divide it by 100. Now there's a problem with that. And the reason being is if I divide 4 by 100, we're actually going to get 0 and not 0.04. The reason being this is an integer and this is an integer, so you would need to make sure you have a float at least on the left side or the right side. So I'm going to make this 4.0. Now that works when you're using literals, but if you're dividing a variable by another variable, you couldn't do it that way. So we're going to do on the other one, we do const double, and this time we'll do county sales tax. And we're going to do, it's 2%. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do static cast and then diamond. And we're going to type in double, which I obviously do not know how to spell. And then a other bracket, and then in parentheses, we're going to put 4, and then we're going to divide that by 100. Now, that's a lot of typing. It used to be where you would just put over here double, like this, but they want to get away from that, and you want to use, of course, if I could spell, that would be good. You want to use the static cast. So it's important to understand that static cast does not convert it to a double. What it does do is for this particular time, treat it as a double. So it'll still be 4 when we get done. And of course, my spelling always comes back to haunt me. And here we go once again. So now we're good. So it tells us $95. Well, the problem with that is we can't choose and test it on different values. We have to stick with 95. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create some variables. So I'm going to create a bunch of variables. So we're going to use double. Now, I don't like to have to constantly type double, 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 double. So here's an easy way to do it, which is acceptable for this class. Type the data type and then all of the variable names. So we're going to need a variable to keep track of the sales tax for the county tax. So let's just do state tax, and we're going to make that equal 0 by 0 with a comma. And remember, you would put in a comment as to what the purpose is. So notice we have a comma, and notice how it's lined up, sort of somewhat indented. And then we're going to do county tax. And notice how I'm initializing it to 0.0. So that means it's a float. It's easy to read as a float. And also, if you put it in a 0, you may get a compiler warning that says data may be lost, converting float to, and it may say float, it may say double, to integer. And that's okay. Don't worry about it because it's still going to be 0.0 when we need it. So then we have the count. Of course, let's make it county tax. And now what we need is the actual sale itself. And one more comma. And then what we're going to put in, we'll call it total sale or amount to pay. So why don't we do amount to pay? And that'll equal 0.0. So now we put our semicolon. If you put a semicolon in any one of these here, you're going to get an error because you need to have double, 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 double in here. So the first thing we need to do is tell the user what we're going to do. So we want cout, what is the amount of sale? And notice we put in a question mark, put in a space, and no end line. And then we're going to do cin. Oops. As soon as I get it, there we go. cin sale. I'm not having a lot of luck in typing this morning. So now we're going to get our sale. We're going to tell the user what we need. So now what we need to do is we need to start calculating what is the sales tax, what is the county tax, and how much are we going to pay. So if you were to put in a little pseudocode, you would put amount to pay is the sale plus state tax plus county tax. So first thing we need to do is calculate the state tax. So we're going to do state tax equals, now remember parentheses, the sale times the state sales tax. Then we're going to do the county tax equals, again, the sale times the county tax, or the county sales tax percent. Now, I probably should have named this state sales tax percent. That would have probably been a better name. But since I didn't do it, we're going to leave it. But I would normally, at the end of a program, go and change this. So let's go and put in our calculation, which would be amount to pay is going to equal the sale plus the state tax plus the county tax. And we will just put in cout amount to pay, or total amount, whatever you want to call it. Amount to pay, and we'll put in an end line here. So let's go and make sure we have a return, which we do not. So you always want to put in a return, 0. And let's test it now on $100. Because we know that it should be $4 and $2. We know that it should actually be, this should be 2. Let's change that to 2. So let's go and test this to see if it actually works. So what is the amount of the sale? We'll do 100. And it should give us $106, which it did. Now, it's not formatted to anything. So let's go now and do the same thing, and we'll do it with, say, $99.32. And now we have 105 and 0.279. I don't know how to pay 0.279. So that's where the formatting is going to come in. So what we want to do is and you can do it on the same line if you want, but I like to do it on a separate line. You have to type in fixed first. And the reason being is it may do it in exponential. It may do it in something else. This assures you it's going to do it in simple numbers like we're used to. And then we want to tell it set precision. And we're going to put in 2. So what this is saying is we want to display the result to 2 decimal places. So let's try this one more time. And we'll do $99 and let's do 56 cents this time. So it's 105 and 53 cents. So that's displayed to 2 decimal places. We can do some other fancy things with displaying it in a certain width. We can put a dollar sign in. We can do all kinds of stuff in here. So let's put a dollar sign in here to make it look fancy. Try it one more time. And then let's go and make it fancy. 225 and 79 cents. So it says amount to pay is $239.34. So that it is. So in recap, we're using a constant. So why is that important? Let's just say that we wanted to change this 0.4 to something more, or this 0.2 to something more. Well, if we were calculating this more than one time, we'd have to go to every single time and change a 0.4 to whatever it is, or a 0.2 to whatever it is. And let's say we're doing this 30 different times. We were calculating the tax on 30 different items. You'd have to go back and change it 30 times. So here, you'd only have to change it one time. So that is it for this. Let's see if there's anything else that we want. Now notice we're making this one step at a time here. It's very clear what you're doing. We could have done this all in one statement and it would be very hard to read. And if you made a mistake, it would be very hard to pick up on it. Here it gives a very simple way of finding any kind of mistake. I'm looking at the code. It's clear. The amount to pay is the sale plus the state tax plus the county tax. So that is it for all. I will post this code for you. Please, if you look at it, obviously if you're listening to it, you're looking at it. Please like it if you like it. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you the next time around. Have a good one.